YouTube. What's up, baby? We back in this thing again with another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're going to be talking about Peacemaker Episode 7, entitled Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Alright, so if you've been to the channel before, you already know how we do it. We started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we're on to the next one, right? So, again, this is Peacemaker, Episode 7, entitled Stop Dragging My Heart Around. So, for this one, we started off, we see Peacemaker and his brother, and this is a flashback that Peacemaker is having. And we see, the two of them vibing out, Peacemaker and his brother Keith vibing out to some rock music, just doing the whole brotherly love type thing, you know what I'm saying? Then we see them get called outside, and their father, Mr. Smith, is having his sons fight against each other in a pit. So that way Mr. Smith and his friends can bet on who's going to win. Bro, keep in mind, these are kids, man. These are kids, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, anyways, bro. It's Peacemaker versus Keith, and they're young, man. So they end up fighting or whatever. I guess they're having fun. Everybody else having fun and whatever else. And Peacemaker ends up punching his brother in his in his head or his mouth or something like that. And when Keith gets hit from it, he falls back and he has a seizure. And he ends up dying. And so, yeah, Peacemaker per se killed his brother, but it wasn't on purpose. They were both young and they were only doing what their father was telling them to do. And then Mr. Smith turns around and just starts cussing out Peacemaker. You idiot, you killed your brother. Blah, blah, blah. Like, what? 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 Bro, you're the adult, Maji. Why do you have your sons over here fighting for your entertainment, for you and your friends to bet on? Like, bruh. Nah. Anyways, bruh, we go back to Peacemaker and he's in the present, you know what I'm saying? And he's in the bathroom and he's crying because he was thinking about, how his brother died in the flashback. In the meantime, you got Vigilante knocking on the door trying to make sure that, Peacemaker is okay and trying to, get him out the bathroom. Peacemaker ends up coming out the bathroom. And on the TV, you can still see that captain that got taken over by the butterfly. And he's telling them like, oh, Peacemaker, you can't go nowhere, and we're going to find you. All the precincts are after you, and we got all this evidence on you or whatever. So Peacemaker tells Vigilante like, yo, we got to get out of here. We got to go. And Peacemaker also realizes that Leota is the one that put that diary in his house when she was over. So he's like, yo, I can't even trust nobody, but you know what? It's just us two, me and Vigilante. Peacemaker's like, it's just us two, the Vigilante. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out, let's leave, and let's go take out this cow. You know what I'm saying? The cow that is able to, that the butterflies feed off of, because it creates that goo that they eat. So they leave and they're off to go over there. But before they leave, they see that Judo Master freed himself from his restraints, and they don't know where he is. But they're like, you know what, bro? Let's go. We got to go handle this. Like that's not even important. So they just leave. We see that Mr. Smith is also on the move. He's trying to go after Peacemaker. He's about to go try to kill his son. Um, Harcourt. So we skip from that. We go to Harcourt. She goes to confront Leota. Like, you're the one that planted the diary. Like, how could you do that? Like, out of everybody in this team, Peacemaker trusted you. Peacemaker really looked at you as a friend. You guys were the closest, besides him and Vigilante. It's like you two were the closest, bro. Like, how could you do that? And so Leota breaks down and she's like, I didn't want to do it. You think I wanted to do it? I hate this job, and I only took this job because I lost my other one, and you know my mom always wanted me to work this job. And Harcourt's like, wait a second, Amanda Waller is your mom? And she's like, yeah. Myrn comes in. Harcourt's like, Myrn, Amanda Waller is her mom. He's like, I know already. this dude, man. He's like, I know already. And he's like, and I know she also planted the diary. I just don't know why she did it at this point. If she was gonna do that, she should have done that later on down the road. But she didn't have to do that now. She's screwing things up. Um, so Myrn tells Leota and Harcourt, like, look, you guys gotta stop the bickering. I know that Leota, this is heavy for you. You want to leave and all stuff like that, but right now we all got to get out of here because the chief that I had working for me, the captain that I had working for me at the police precinct, he's now taken over by a butterfly. So he's gonna know where everything is that we've been doing and all. Like, he's gonna know. So we got to get out of here. So, um, then we go from there and we find out that Judo Master, that when he escaped, he went to, I don't know, I guess he needed some more snacks, bro. He went to like a liquor store and he's just sitting there eating Cheetos, of course. These two guys pull up. These two guys pull up and they're like making fun of him, all this other stuff like that, whatever. They go inside the store, buy what they need to buy. They come out. Judo Master whoops both of them and steals their car. So now he's on his way, to go try to, fight against Peacemaker and the team. And then we go back to Peacemaker and Vigilante. And as they're on their way to go destroy the cow, and it's not just Peacemaker Vigilante, it's Peacemaker Vigilante and John. As they're on their way to destroy the cow, Mr. Smith ends up showing up with his henchmen to kill Peacemaker, but that also puts a halt on, the plans of Peacemaker Vigilante and John to go kill the cow. So a fight breaks out, and Vigilante ends up using this grenade and he blows up the area like right in front of him. So he actually gets hurt himself. Mr. Smith kind of gets hurt, but he's in the white dragon suit, so he ends up being okay. And while he did that ended up buying time. Vigilante ended up buying time for Peacemaker and John to escape, and they start running to this they start running through a forest area. So we end up going back to Myrn and Leota and Harcourt, and Myrn is they're trying to escape, but all the cops are there already. So it's gonna be hard for them to escape. So what happens is Mern tells Leota and Harcourt to just leave, and he's gonna stay there, and he's gonna try to distract the cops. So they leave to a certain area to kind of hide out, but they're still in that building. Mern is in the HQ, or in his apartment or whatever it may have been, whatever that building is. Cops come in, he starts busting at them. They overrun him. Sophie comes in, tells him like, "Hey, like, are you gonna tell us how you knew all the stuff or whatever?" He's like, "Nah, over my dead body." She's like, "Okay." Blah 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 blah. Shoots him 3 times in his chest. He ends up dying, and then the butterfly comes out, and then they're like, "Oh, like, like, because they're butterflies as well. They didn't know that he was a butterfly, I guess." So Sophie grabs the butterfly. She knows who it is. She talks to him. She's like, "You could have joined us. Why'd you do that or whatever?" And then she just crushes it, throws it on the ground, and then the police forces, they just leave the area. Then then Leota and Harcourt, they go check on Mern. They see that he's dead. They're like, "Oh man, what are we gonna do now? We can't complete the mission without our boss." You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows everything. Look on the ground, they see the butterfly. It is about to die, and it just ends up dying in Harcourt's hand. Um, Pretty sad, man. Pretty sad. Um, so then, as they're like kind of reminiscing, like, "Oh man, this sucks. What are we gonna do? Whatever." Judo Master ends up coming in. He ends up fighting against Harcourt and Leota. And at first, he kind of has the upper hand. Then Harcourt starts handling him and beating him up bad, bro. Like, I was like, "Okay, shorty. Like, I didn't know you. Okay." Um, but then he ends up tying her up or whatever. He thinks he has the upper hand. Leota comes out of nowhere with a taser and just tases that fool real good, bro. Like you gonna be done after this. You know what I'm saying? You ain't hopping back up to fight. So that's what she does. Judo Master ends up passing out from the tasing, and that's how that scene goes. So then we skip to John and Peacemaker, and they end up fighting Vigilante, because what happens is when Peacemaker and John left into the forest, Mr. Smith and his henchmen also went after them. And the reason why they were able to like track them and all this stuff like that was because his dad, Mr. Smith, had put like a tracker inside of all the Peacemaker helmets, so he knew where Peacemaker was all the time. So when they realized that, they end up tying one of the helmets to like a raccoon, and it runs one way, and it makes them all go after them. John and Peacemaker end up escaping. Now, in the midst of all of what I just said right there, Vigilante ends up getting up from being hurt from the grenade that he let off. He finds Mr. Smith's henchmen. Like, they have cars that they pulled up. He gets in one of the cars and he just drives off. So as he's driving, he ends up passing out because of the damage that he just took in, and like his car goes off the road. So when John and Peacemaker end up coming out the forest, they see Vigilante, they wake him up, and then they all three get in the car, and then they drive and they leave the area. Now they start talking in the car, and they're like, they start talking in the car, and Peacemaker's like, "Yeah, man, I have to get rid of my helmet because there's a tracking device in the helmet." Vigilante looks over at Peacemaker, and what ends up happening is Vigilante thought that the helmets were so important and they were so expensive that he ended up taking the whole bag of because Peacemaker had a whole bag of helmets, but he left it like wherever he had left it, and he just, after he found out about the whole helmet thing having a tracker in it, he's obviously not going to use the helmets right now, just for right now. And so Vigilante was like, yeah, I picked up the bag with the helmets. They're all in the trunk. So they're like, oh my god, bro, like they're gonna find us again. So they get out the car, they open the trunk, they throw the helmets away, and then within that time, Mr. Smith and his henchmen end up catching back up to Vigilante, John, and Peacemaker. So the fight like goes crazy at this point. Eagly ends up helping out, and Mr. Smith smacks Eagly, and he falls to the ground, and that makes Peacemaker pissed off, and so he tries to fight his father, and he is fighting his father, but the suit that Mr. Smith wears is dope. It's almost like Iron Man-esque, He really had a lot of Iron Man type of things with it. So anyways, as Mr. Smith kind of has the upper hand on Peacemaker, Vigilante jumps out of nowhere and stabs Mr. Smith's like right by his neck where the armor is thin, and it ends up messing up his armor, and he's no longer able to shoot. Like he has like these little gauntlets. He's not longer able to shoot from the gauntlets. So this gives Peacemaker a chance to be able to fight him. So they go head to head, man, and Peacemaker ends up getting the upper hand. And by the end of that situation, Peacemaker picks up a gun, and he's pointing at his dad's head, and his dad is like, "Yo, like you're not gonna shoot me because you're, all this, how he treats Peacemaker, bro." Peacemaker ends up shooting him in his head. So now Mr. Smith is dead, and that's how that went right there. So then we go to Hardcore and Leota, and they meet up with the team. So now everybody's together again. And then they're on their way to basically go kill the cow, all of them together. And then after that, we get a scene where we see all the police force and everybody, and they went to like this farm area, and you actually see this cow that they're talking about. I'm thinking this is a regular cow, bro. This, I don't even know what that was, bro. It looked mad ugly. It looked like a big old foot with eyes and mouth. I was like, bro, like what the? That ain't no cow. But I guess it's a space cow. You feel me? Like, but they gonna have some trouble with that. They probably going over there thinking it's a regular cow, bro. Nah, this is it's gonna be a problem next episode for sure. Between all the police officers with the butterflies in them and stuff like that, plus that big old cow, bro. Like, I don't know. But anyways, that's how the episode ended, man. Just gotta say before I go any further, bro. Mr. Smith is a piece of trash, man, and I'm happy that he ended up dying. You know, you're just a piece of trash, bro. You deserve the death that you got, man. Anyways, that was a premise. Let's hop on to 3 of my favorite scenes. Leota and Hardcore versus Judo Master. Bro, that was dope, and it was funny. Like, Judo Master is such a good fighter, bro, but Hardcore, she held her own, bro. She showed off that, like, I know how to fight too, my G. And Leota came on at the end with that special finishing touch, bro. The little taser, bro, like 2-3 times. She was like, yeah, you ain't gonna get up no more. I was like, get handle. And they did. Second favorite scene would be Peacemaker killing his dad, bro. Because his dad was a piece of trash and he definitely deserved to die, bro. That whole scene was crazy. But, the fighting and everything like that, and then stop fighting and then fighting again, whatever, after they found him. But Peacemaker deserved to die, bro. So that's what he gets. And Eagly did his thing, bro, once again, bro. Eagly is not to be messed with, man. Anyway, so my third favorite scene would be Eagly and Peacemaster, bro. When Eagly was knocked out, John Vigilante and Peacemaker end up taking Eagly to a veterinarian. And he ends up, being okay and everything like that after some prayer and just whatever the veterinarians had did to him. And it shows Eagly go hug Peacemaker again, and it's funny to see that, bro. And then it's also just felt good to see that because that's like that's his real good friend. You feel me? And also, Leota saw that from the glass window. She saw him give him a hug and like that, and she was like, "Yo, this is crazy! Like he wasn't lying when he told me that." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." Oh, another thing that's sad, bro. Peacemaker, when at the end when he was like, "Yeah, you're stupid. I don't want to be with you no more. I just want to get this mission over, and then I don't want to see your stupid face anymore." And Leota's like about to cry, bro. I was like, "Oh, bro." But hey, she messed up. But I was like, "Oh, bro, she hurt." You know what I'm saying? She hurt, but he hurt too. He hurt too, bro. She shouldn't have done that to him. You know. But those are three of my favorite scenes. This episode's a 10 out of 10, bro. 10 out of 10, man. Whew, we only got one more episode to go, bro. And that's gonna be it. That's gonna be season finale. Hopefully we get a second season of this, man. Hopefully we keep going, bro. But we only got one more episode left, man. But this is episodes of 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, man. Funny, action packed, emotional, man. And I loved it all, bro. So if you guys saw this episode, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Callie. Until next time.